Tansa kihiwaskweo nasigasan sakitawakotania. My name is Kaleigh River Aramenko. I'm from Isla Cross. I am a member of James Smith Cree Nation, and I have family ties in Sturgeon Lake, Saskatchewan, and the Wahpeton Dakota Nation.
Mm,
And I'm really grateful to be here today.
yes. I'm happy to have you. I've known you,
Hmm.
like, it's got to be like 14, 15 years, probably 13,
Has it
14.
been that long?
I think so, because it was pretty close to right when, maybe not right when I moved to Saskatoon, but like within 2, 3 years.
Damn.
Because I met you through probably my cousin.
Yeah, I think it was your cousin that we met through. Frick, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it's been that long, holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's like crazy
Oh
to,
my god.
it's crazy to like when you think about it, like just to see somebody like almost every weekend or every other weekend.
Mhm.
Like it's just somebody you see all the time. And then boom, like 10 years where like I maybe ran into you like just randomly
Yeah.
and just like never seen you again.
I know, just fucking disappear, hey.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're writing poetry, writing books,
I know.
speaking.
All of a sudden you have your own studio, and you're doing boxing. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
Yep. Yeah. Boxing, not at the Colonial.
Exactly. You're doing it for
No.
real now, huh?
But so I guess if you wanted to just share on what your book's about, what you speak on.
Well, um, it kinda started in 2017. Um, I wrote She Rises, You Are the Good Medicine the Grandmother Saw Coming out of a time in my life where I was healing. I just started healing, and I fled domestic violence, and I really needed like an outlet. I needed something healthier to do because in the past, the way I dealt with feelings and emotions was just through alcohol. Like I just would go drink, and I didn't even realize I was numbing my feelings. I didn't know it was that deep until like much later. And in 2017, I was really just kind of searching for something more. And as you know, I was living here in Saskatoon. I was in university at the time. I was trying to finish my degree in English, and I didn't really have any focus. I didn't have goals. I didn't even really have like hope. I didn't know that life was kind of worth living. Um, and I was just really lost. And I didn't even have like that identity piece because I didn't even know that I was a Korean Dakota person. I didn't know that that meant I had responsibility. I didn't know where I came from. I didn't know who my family was. Like there were so many things that I was like lacking. And I didn't have the time to learn any of it because when I wasn't in school, I was just out there being fucking ranked. So there was no
The Kaylee
time.
I knew.
Yeah, the Kaylee you knew. Hey? And so it was just a crazy time, and like I didn't even try to enjoy like food or coffee. Like that's how lost I was in in alcohol, like in that addiction. And I never gave myself space to like be creative or to write, and I just I think I was just spending a lot of time running, being trying to be busy so I didn't have to like look deeper at all the things I had underneath, like all those issues, those mental health issues you have that you might repress. Like you grew up, like I think it's safe to say, like, a lot of us indigenous people, like we grow up in homes where we're not supposed to talk about our feelings or feel our feelings, and we can't trust anybody. And that's not to say, like, I'm not trying to shame people or anything like that. That's just kind of the reality of a lot of our situations. And in my situation, that's how it was. And so I didn't know how to have healthy conflict. I didn't
Mm,
know how to have healthy relationships with people. And growing up north, I was adopted into Isla Cross. Like I'm really proud to be from up north. I love telling people where I'm from. I love talking about my late mama because she was really into like traditional medicine, and she did beautiful beadwork, and she was really strict. She was like a really strict woman. So whenever I think about her now, in my head, she's always giving me shit, like, "Quit quit being like that, like, act right already, like, smarten up," and then I'm just like, "Fuck, okay, okay." She's not even here, but I feel like I'm still getting shit from her. But, yeah, I carry her with me now, and I feel like when I look back on the things that I was going through, I really feel like she was there with me, like, kinda guiding me, because there were so many times, especially when I was still drinking, that I shouldn't have been alive, like, I shouldn't have lived, but I did. Fuck, creators just wouldn't let me give up, hey. But yeah, it was really confusing, it was really hard trying to navigate living in a city for the first time as a 17-year-old and not knowing who you are, trying to build community, not knowing how to be a good relative yet, like, there was just so many different layers. But,
So you grew up in Isle
yeah,
like, elementary and high school?
yeah. I was adopted, so the first 4 years of my life, I was living in Prince Albert with my adopted family, my family, and then we moved up north to Isle and then I grew up there, from kindergarten until I graduated high school, and then from high school, I moved to Saskatoon right away,
Mm.
and so that was me just trying to figure out how to be an adult, and I never really had I grew up in a really strict home, so I couldn't just go out on weekends the way a lot of other people could or wanted to, so when I finally had my freedom in the city, hey, no adult telling me, "Don't fucking do that." I went and did it,
You
hey.
went for
I
it.
fucking went, I stepped it, hey.
Yeah.
Oh my god, hey, and that was the Kaleigh you met, hey.
Yep.
But yeah, it feels like I've learned a lot of my lessons the hard way,
Mm.
um, and so when I reflect on it now, I'm like, "Damn, I'm gonna have some crazy stories when I'm a cook of me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But, what got me to write the book too was, yeah, those life experiences, not being able to talk to anybody about it, and, when I was trying to heal from the domestic violence and that relationship, I really had to figure out what worked for me before, and something they don't tell you about, like, childhood, like, healing and or just getting sober is you have to go back. You have to go back to, like, the beginning and try to find try to remember what worked for you as a kid, and when I was little, writing stories and poetry and songs, that's really what helped kept me safe as a kid, and so I decided to pick that up again after fleeing domestic violence, and then I didn't know it yet, but the poetry in this book here, it it really grounded me and it really did save me because I was able to be vulnerable in a way I couldn't be vulnerable with people yet. Like, I didn't know how to talk about my feelings, I didn't know how to express myself, I didn't know that giving yourself space to heal and really just sit with your feelings and be out in the land, like, that is such good medicine. And I had no idea about that when I was drinking. Like, I back when I was still in addiction, like, I couldn't be by myself. I didn't wanna be alone. I didn't want the noise to stop, because if that's all gone, it's just me. And I didn't know how to be alone yet. Like, I didn't know how to deal with those emotions, but I think that's something that a lot of people who go through that know, even though we don't talk about it, right? Because when you're partying every weekend, like, you don't wanna talk about your fucking feelings. Someone will just hand you a beer right away and say, like,
Mhm.
"Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Just have another drink," and
Nobody remembers the next day anyways.
nobody fucking remembers anyway. You coulda just cried, hey. But
So how
yeah.
s like, I feel like you've probably picked up, like, a lot of tools on your journey, you know? Even what you were just talking about, like, how do you come to realize that? Like, was it taught to you by somebody, or was it, like, maybe you heard somebody else speak on it and you tried it, or did you just, like, try different things and this is what worked for you?
Well, when I first left the abuse, I found a really good therapist, but it took 2 tries to find one that would fit for me, and,
Mm.
So she kind of taught me about anxiety and depression and how to cope with it. And she taught me like really basic grounding techniques, like the five senses, like find something you can, what's something you can smell, what's something you can taste, what's something you can touch, and just kind of working through the feelings I was going through that way because when I found her, I was a mess. Like I just fled a relationship that almost took my life. And so when I sat in her office the day I left, I felt like I had just been like chewed up and spit out. Like I felt like a zombie. And so she was very much just teaching me how to manage and like put out my own fires because I wasn't able to just sit in her office every day, and go through all those feelings. I had to be out in the world and I had to deal with all of the triggers that came with that because like I have CPTSD. It's a lot better now than it was. Like when I first left in 2019, I physically could not drive down 22nd Street in Saskatoon. I I could go up to Avenue C before my body physically would start, like, shaking, or I would need to throw up, I would feel physically sick, I would get, like, my ears would start ringing, like, it was really bad, and it took about a year before my body started relaxing and I could actually drive down that street again and not be affected, and, that was a lot of just therapy, being able to be vulnerable and open up and learn that it's okay to talk about what you go through in a safe space. And so, like, once after about a year and a half of that and journaling every day, I wrote everything down for a year. I had to learn how to name my feelings, if I was mad, if I was sad. And I had to allow myself to be happy and know that it's okay for me to be happy when good things happen and trust that if a good thing is happening to me, I'm worthy of that good thing. It's not going to get taken away. And I had to learn that if something does get taken away, it doesn't mean that I lack value. And it doesn't mean that creator doesn't have a plan to give it back in a better way, in a healthier way.
Right.
And so about after a year and a half of therapy, I started feeling really lonely again, like for my culture, because I wasn't really connected to it yet. I was smudging every day. My cousin gave me my first bundle of sage and she told me like just pray, just speak from the heart. And so that's what I did. And I really believe that if you're intentional with the way you speak or the way you show up, or if you're very specific in your prayer, like when you're asking for help, creator will answer. Like I really do believe that creator will move mountains for you. If your heart's in the right place, if your mind is in the right place and you just want different for yourself. And so after a year and a half of really trying to work on myself and like isolate and not tolerate things from people and learning to set those boundaries, I slowly started meeting women in communities who were kind of on a healing journey as well. And they started showing me like energy healing. And I dove into that world for a while, like Reiki and sound bars and singing bowls and like all these different things just to help me chill the fuck out. Hey.
Mhm.
And another thing I started doing was like yoga. Hey. But I really had to learn to be okay in my body and, like, trust that I'm okay and that it's okay to fucking love your life but it was hard, it wasn't easy. People think, healing means you're just gonna take a bubble bath every day and fuck shit's gonna be good. It's not like that. You're gonna cry. Hey, it's gonna suck. You're gonna be alone. You're gonna lose relationships, but it's only because some of those relationships weren't healthy for you. And creator heard you. You said you wanted healthy. Okay, well, everything that's not good for you is gonna be removed
Mm.
and it's gonna hurt, but you just have to trust that it's happening for a reason and just gotta trust in something bigger than yourself. And even with my sobriety, like I didn't do AA or anything like that. I really just threw myself into therapy. And then when I started picking up um the culture more, what worked for me, and meeting people who were healing and being in communities, like that's really what kept me grounded. That's really what kept me sober. And at first, when I first left in 2019, I didn't get sober right away, but I did start to slow down on my drinking. Like, I slowly had to let go of the friends that I had. Some of them, they just weren't right for me, and I wasn't right for them. Like, and that's okay. But I started realizing, like, I do need to settle down because, like, there's more to life than what I was going through. And when I fled domestic violence, like, I almost died. So many different times my life was almost taken from me. And, like, when you're going through those hard times, you think that it's really easy to believe that there's nothing else for you.
Mm,
And that's really what I thought. Um, and there were times when, like, I tried to take my own life when I was in that situation because I couldn't see a way out yet. But in all of those moments, I always just had this big feeling that this wasn't it. And I wasn't born just to suffer this way. And there's no way that if there is a God, if there is a creator, that they made me to be in this situation and then that's it. That's it for me. And so that feeling is really what kind of kept coming up for me when I was trying to flee violence. And when I finally was able to leave after making a plan and being held accountable by my therapist and by the late Janice Akus, she was actually one of my last instructors. And sometimes you just need that tough love. You just need someone to look at you and call you out on your shit. And like she didn't even know me. But the first time I sat in her class and she just like pulled me aside and asked me to come to her office, I was like, fuck, I'm getting in trouble. Hey, I didn't even do anything. Hey. But she like called me to her office and then she just looked at me and just straight out said, like, how long has he been like beating you? And I was like, what do you mean? And then she's like, I think you know. I was like, you think you know what I think I know what you mean or something, she said to me. And she's like, and I was like, how do you know? And she's like, because I was you. And she's like, and you need to leave him. And then I was like, fuck, hey, shit, now she's gonna know, hey, and she's gonna hold me accountable. And then she's like, and I'm gonna hold you accountable. And I was like, fuck, hey. You're gonna leave. And I was like, okay. Hey. But yeah, when I finally left, she was she kept checking in on me like throughout that the rest of that term. And I really got shown that people care. Like people there are people out there who give a shit. And it was just it was just crazy. And even today, like I've been sober almost 6 years. I'll be sober 6 years on March 7th. It's coming up here, and, it doesn't even feel like it's been that long. But throughout this time, I've really had to lean into my prayer in a way that works for me. Like, Creator just keeps showing me that there are people out there, there's good people out there, and even if you get hurt, even if you get treated terribly, even if you go through abuse or go through something really traumatic, like, there's people that give a shit. Like, people care. I really do believe that the good people exist, right? Because I exist and you exist. We just wanna hold space in a good way for people, right? Like, that means something.
mhm,
And so even when I get hurt now or things don't work out for me or I get told no because you're still gonna screw up, like, you're still gonna fail or not even fail, you're still gonna have lessons to learn. I always kinda get shown that, like, Creator has your back. Creator doesn't miss a beat. And gratitude is such good medicine. That's another thing that really keeps me sane. Because sometimes, man, like, life just fucking tests you, hey. And then that one meme where it's like, "I'm built like corn." I'm built like corn, hey. Always trying to throw in the towel, hey, and then Creator's like, "Fuck here, hey. Settle down."
Sometimes it's just hard to see the big picture when you're going through something,
I know.
and you just got blinders on, and it's just like, "This is it?" But
Yeah.
then it's like when you look at, like, the 10-year game plan, it's like, it wasn't so bad,
I know,
you
fuck.
know?
Didn't even know 10 years went by. I was like, "Holy shit."
Yeah. Wait, so when you were when you were, like, stuck in your relationship, did you feel like you didn't even deserve better?
Yeah. Um, when I was in that relationship, people say, like, Why did you stay? Like,
Mhm.
they say, "What did you see? Why did you stay after all that was happening to you?" And the thing we don't talk about enough is how conditioned we get, especially if you grew up in chaos or dysfunction. Even if drugs or alcohol weren't in your home growing up, you still might not have learned what a healthy love looks like. You still might not have learned what respect looks like or healthy conflict. And so I didn't understand any of that. And I had already had relationships before my abusive marriage that weren't good, that were all like chaotic and dysfunctional in their own way. And so when the guy that I was married to started showing me these signs that he's also dysfunctional, it felt like nothing to me. It felt like, okay, this is fine.
It's
Like
normal.
it's normal. Like you fucking just make excuses for the behavior. And so I felt after I had gotten engaged, and we weren't even engaged for very long, it was only a couple months. I had already isolated myself. Like I had to let go a lot of my friends, let go of a lot of my family, because sometimes people convince you that that nobody gives a shit about you and that you're better off without those people. And if they have you isolated, then you don't have anybody around you to say, this might not be safe.
Right.
They don't really love you. They don't really care. And so I felt really like isolated. I felt really alone. And after we had gotten engaged, it kind of felt like I was already in too deep. And it felt like people already think I'm in a really good relationship. And I was too ashamed to say that this is happening. And I also didn't even know that it was abuse, which sounds like crazy. How can you not know that what you're going through is abuse? But when you already have that high threshold for pain, right? Like you're not going to see it that way. And when I went back to university and I was sitting in school, in class, I finally had alone time. I started like Googling, and I'm pretty sure the first thing I Googled, like, what is abuse? What does it look like? And then these different websites were showing me like literally telling me that what I'm experiencing is dangerous and I'm not safe. And I realized I'm going to die if I stay here. And it told me, like, find a therapist, find someone safe to tell. And so that's what I tried to do. Like I said, I found a really nice therapist, and she started planning with me, and I had to get she told me, you have to become a really good actress. Like you have to learn now to just pretend everything's cool, pretend everything's fine, and you're not leaving him. Because something a lot of people don't know is if you're living in domestic violence, the most dangerous time for you is if you're leaving them. Because that's when like the control comes out more and they want you to stay and they want to make you feel worse so you don't leave. And so that was a really scary time. And what made me feel stuck in that relationship was like I still didn't know who I was, my identity, and my self-esteem was like on the floor. I didn't
Mhm.
believe that I was capable of good things. I didn't think I could stand up on my own without him because like the level of emotional and mental abuse you have to go through to get to that point is insane. And then to justify the physical abuse that's happening, like you're like not even a person almost. You're kind of just a shell. And so it was a really crazy time. Like I look back on pictures sometimes of who I was back then and I don't recognize her. But I don't judge her because she was doing the best she could to survive at a time when she didn't know anything.
Mhm.
But another thing I want people to know who are listening, because there's a lot of people that go through this. We just don't talk about it enough. If you were ever in that situation, you're not stupid and you're not weak. And people like that, like they'll go anywhere. They'll hurt anybody if they can, but the fact that you're still here, you're still doing the best you can, like that says something. People say like, "Oh, you that what you went through made you strong." And it's like, "No, I was already strong.
Mm.
I was already a good person. I was already worthy of love, you know?" And sometimes people see that light and they want that for themselves because they don't have it. And they want to make you feel as like broken and small as they do. And I'm learning like that, and that's not ours to carry. Like not even as domestic violence survivors, but I think intergenerational trauma survivors. Like we are worthy of that care. of that community and of that kindness. And sometimes it takes us a little while to get there. But it used to be really hard to think for myself when I was in that situation because I didn't have autonomy, I didn't have a voice. But now that I'm out of that situation, like, good fucking luck telling me what to do, me.
Mhm.
You can't tell me nothing, me. But yeah, it was the biggest learning experience of my life, and, being sober and being out of that situation, I'm just fucking grateful, like, every day I'm grateful.
Yeah. How so how do you how did you learn to, like, start loving yourself? Because I feel like your self-love is, like, equivalent to what you'll take from other people, you know? If you love yourself a lot, you're not gonna take even if someone calls you a name, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, let me stop you there," you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But then it's like, if it's not, then you'll let people talk down to
Mhm.
you, and then you get to a point where you get abused, and you
Yeah.
let that happen because there's no love there,
Mhm.
you know? And I feel like it's just, like, mutual,
Yeah,
and if you have no love for yourself, you'll let anyone do anything, you know?
definitely. Yeah.
So how do you start loving yourself? What did you
Well,
do to start loving yourself?
I had to
Do you
trick
love yourself?
myself. I fucking love myself,
Okay,
hey,
good.
but I had to trick myself to do it.
Okay.
Because like, when I first started therapy and I was, like, leaving that relationship, my therapist, she started really basic with me. Like I mentioned, she taught me how to ground myself for anxiety and depression and to stop those spiraling thoughts, and but she also told me, like, "You need to look in the mirror, and you need to tell yourself that you're you're beautiful or you're worthy.
Mm,
You need to tell yourself, 'I love you,' in the mirror." And, she said, "It might feel silly to do. You might not even want to. You might not be able to look at yourself long enough to say that. Like, you might not even mean it. You might be angry at yourself." And she said, "You just need to keep doing it." And so that's what I did. I started looking at myself in the mirror and I would tell myself, "I love you. Kaylee, you're beautiful. Kaylee, you're smart. Kaylee, you're worthy." And at first I thought, this is so fucking dumb. Like,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
this feels so stupid. Like, why am I doing this? But then I told myself, no, like, I've got nothing to lose to try.
Mhm,
Like, what's gonna happen? Maybe nothing happens, but maybe it works. And so I would just start doing that every day, multiple times a day. I started putting like sticky notes all around my house, all around my home, and they would be like affirmation. Like, I am grateful, I'm worthy, I feel loved, I am loved. Like, just simple things everywhere all the time. And it got to a point where I do it so often now that I wake up and I'm just grateful. Like, it's the first thing I think about in the morning. But I had to build that routine. You have to replace something like negative with something positive.
right,
And I think that's kind of why it eventually made it easier for me to really start that journey with sobriety because I realized I spent so many years like running from myself and numbing myself. And once I started like healing and getting better and telling myself like all of these good things that I'm worthy of, like, it didn't really make sense anymore to drink. It didn't really make sense anymore to keep hurting myself this way when I felt it like in here that I wanted better. And so yeah, I had to trick myself into loving me. But then after a while I was like, this is easy,
mhm,
like I'm easy to love. And even though all of this terrible shit happened over here, and even though I wasn't always the nicest person to myself and even sometimes to others, like I realized I'm still worthy of goodness. And sometimes that's another thing you learn too, like, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves.
mhm,
Sometimes I hear a lot in our communities like, "Oh, they think they're better now because they quit drinking," or, "Oh, they think they're better now, better than everybody because, like, they don't use drugs anymore." But the reality is, like, nobody thinks they're better than anybody. The only person you're trying to do better than and be better than is you. And sometimes people will take that as, an attack. but that's only because that's where they are in their journey. It's got nothing
Right.
to do with you, you know? Like,
Mhm.
all you can do is keep focusing on yourself and pray for your relatives that they get to a point where they want to heal too. And
Right.
maybe they won't take the goodness that you're trying to put out there or the love you're putting out there as an attack anymore, right? Maybe they'll lose a little bit of that edge and they'll accept that healing into their home fire because they're worthy of it, like we all are. And now yeah, it's a you just have to really try hard and try every day. It's fucking work. People say healing's easy. It's not. Like you really have to do it every day. And you really have to try every day. And sometimes it sucks. But then suddenly you wake up one day and gratitude's the first thing you think about. Or maybe you lose a job or something happens and you don't feel like burning your life down, you know? And suddenly you can breathe through those hard moments and you're like, even though I may have lost here, I'm still worthy and you just trust that the next thing coming is going to be better for you.
Right.
Yeah.
That's, like, nicely said because I think, it's like, when I think about, like, learning these skills and building these tools and building your own capacity, it's like, like if I teach somebody if I taught somebody how to throw a jab, let's say,
Mhm.
they're not gonna master it, they have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
They have to keep practicing it. And, like, that's how I feel healing is. But I don't think people make that correlation. They
Mhm.
don't make, like it's like, "Okay, I went to this retreat, I should be good now for 10 years," and it's
Yeah,
like,
I see.
it's
Yeah.
like when you're in this safe environment, it's very easy to pick up these tools
Yeah.
and learn and practice them.
Mhm.
When you're at a gym with a coach, it's easy to work on these tools. Then you go into a ring and you fight another person who's trying to punch you back. And now that jab isn't working. It
Mhm.
doesn't mean a jab doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just means you haven't practiced it enough. You haven't been in enough situations. You haven't been in enough conflict
Mhm.
to make it work. And that's how healing is too.
Yeah.
And there's so many different ways of conflict in the world that it's like, some is like just small, some is intense, some is with a relative, some is
Mhm.
with somebody you're scared of, some is with, and some of them you're gonna handle fine, and others you're just gonna crumble, and then but you just gotta keep practicing,
Yeah.
build your capacity, keep doing things that help you. And I just wish more people could make that correlation because people will go to therapy and be like, it doesn't work.
Mhm.
It's like, well, it does work. You just
Yeah.
haven't figured out how to work it yet,
Yeah.
you know? Or they'll go to a retreat and that was bullshit. And it's like, it
Mhm.
wasn't bullshit.
Mhm.
It was just like, when you're in this safe room, it's very easy to take everything and be like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Then all of a sudden you're out in the real world and you're being
Mhm.
attacked hard.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like, but it'll get easier every time
Mhm.
if you practice.
Yeah. No, that's so true. When I first started therapy, my therapist was like, because I was a mess, but hey, I was like crazy. He not like crazy, crazy, but crazy. He, but she was like,
just, just one crazy.
yeah, just one crazy. He, she was like, if you come in every day and you use the tools that you're learning and you really apply them, she's like, give yourself 5 years. By the time you're 30, you won't even have anxiety or depression anymore. And
Mm.
I was like, fuck 5 years. Hey, fuck that. Hey, I was just mad. I wanna feel better now.
Yeah.
But,
That time's gonna pass anyways.
exactly, exactly. And so I was like, "Fuck it then. I'll try." Hey, and now I'm here. But she was right though.
Mhm.
Like, I really did apply myself, and I was also with therapy or any kinda healing modality that you try, you're gonna get out what you put in. So if you can't be honest fully with yourself, how are you gonna be honest with someone who wants to help you? how are you honestly gonna be able to apply the skills you're using into your life? And so sometimes if someone is saying, "Oh, this isn't working," well, what are you doing about it? You know, like, how are you utilizing what you're learning?
Right.
Because I feel like that's what elders say a lot to us too. You know how when you're with your friends and you're like, "I'm never gonna sober up," and then an elder says, "Yeah, sober up, my girl," and you're like, "Okay, hey, I'm trying, hey."
Okay.
But be honest, hey.
Yeah.
That's kinda how it is too. It's like, "Oh my god, who's calling me? Oh, no." Anyway, um, you have to be
Put
honest
them
with yourself.
on.
I
Just
can't, that's my
kidding.
girl's friend, hey. I'm not with my daughter right now, I gotta wait, hey. But she's like, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be able to be honest with the people who are helping you. Because if you can't put in that work, you're not gonna see the results you want. Like how it is in the gym, right? If you wanna be able to do all the deadly things you do, I don't know nothing about boxing, but, like, if you wanna be fucking deadly, you have to show up and you have to put in the work,
Yeah.
right? You can bullshit to everybody, but you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to the creator, right? Like, creator sees and knows everything. And eventually you're gonna have to, you can walk. What is it like? You can walk the you have to t you can talk the talk, but you can't if you can't walk the walk, it's like it's not gonna add up.
Right.
And we're living in a time now, like, where technology is, like, at our fingertips. We don't really get to say that we didn't know anymore because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's so many things out there that can help us, like, even with our parenting, even with healing, like, we have all this access to information and to knowledge. Sometimes people say, like, if you want your traditional knowledge back, you just have to go out there and learn and just offer someone tobacco, ask them in a good way, and then your answers will come to you, but you have to be patient sometimes too, because creators like, "I'm not gonna tell you everything right now, hey."
Yeah, let me put you through this first.
Yeah. You need more character development, hey.
That
Mm,
it's funny, 'cause when you think of knowledge, like, the big thing before was, like, knowledge is power, but
mhm,
now knowledge is so readily available that it isn't power anymore. Now it's like knowledge plus action is power,
mhm,
because it's like, there's like that that quote, it's like, "To know and not do is to not know."
mm.
And I think a lot of people do that. They know, but they just don't do it anyways. And it's like it's simple. It's like if you're not getting the results you want, you're not doing it right.
'Cause yeah, it's
And
like
that's
when
really it. That's
yeah,
all there is to it. In like almost every area, you know?
mhm,
If you're not moving towards the results or you don't have the results you're looking for, you're not doing it correctly.
yeah.
Yeah, change something.
It's like when the elder asks if you're gonna get sober and you say, "Yeah, me." You're like, "Me."
I'm not coming back around here for a while.
Yeah, just disappear, hey. Oh, shit. But, no, I agree with that. You really don't realize how much time you have to put back into yourself. This last summer, my cousin I was talking to her because I was going to my first Sundance, my first year, and I was feeling scared, like, I was doing the best I could to prepare and
That Wahpeton?
yeah, no, not in Wahpeton, in Beardy's, actually. I wanted to go to Wahpeton. My my idea was to go to Wahpeton because that's where my late Cookam's family is from, and so I wanted to do my Sundance there, but creator had other ideas, another plan for me, so I did it in Beardy's, and when I was preparing for that, I was feeling really lonely and really unsure, and I didn't know what to expect, and I was talking to my cousin about it, and she's like, "You know what, Kaylee? If you back in the past, you used to spend 4 days drunk. You used to spend 4 days on a bender, not eating, barely sleeping, not taking care of your body, being disconnected. So I think you can spend 4 days fasting. I think you can spend 4 days praying and just being uncomfortable that way for a good reason. Because sometimes I'm learning that creator will ask us to do things. We will be asked a lot, especially if we're trying to walk one way and say we are a certain way. Well, creator is going to test you. You might be put back in those situations where you are going to feel afraid. You are gonna get triggered. You are gonna wanna tell them to fucking fuck off, but you can't, right? Your unhealed version is gonna wanna come out and swing, but you gotta be like, "No, hey." And so when she said that to me, I was like, "Yeah, okay. Okay, hey, fine." But and that too, it's like, whenever I'm in situations like that, I you really do need good people around you. You really do need people around you who can say, "You know what? I think you need to take a step back. I think you need to take a breath. Like, it's not that serious. It's okay." But who will also validate your feelings. Back when I was still drinking and even in that really violent relationship, I didn't have access to people who really saw what I was going through and who could talk to me that way. And it wasn't until I left and started trying to get better that I was really shown how much you need community, how much you need your people, because we really can't do this by ourselves. Like, sometimes we'll be asked to sit by ourselves and be lonely and be okay with it. But if we're really trying to get somewhere and change things, especially in our community, like, we need each other.
Mhm.
Like, we need each other to heal. Like, we need men to heal. We need women to heal because we have babies who are here and they need to see that even though the world out there might be really chaotic sometimes, at least our home fires are safe. At least they can go out into their community and feel like they belong somewhere. Because even if you've been disconnected from your culture for a long time, or you might not know who your community is, like, it's never too late to learn. And it's all about your intention when you're walking and when you're in your prayer, if you're asking for help, like, be intentional about it, be specific. Creator really likes you when you're being specific in your prayers. He don't just say you want a man. He because you gotta say what kind of man. He otherwise you'll learn a fucking lesson again. He
Name him.
name him. He oh shit.
Did when you were up north, did you have, lots of culture up north? Or was it not till after high school, after you were
Up north, we have they're really connected to the land up north. Um, the relationship with the land up north is really strong. Like, everybody knows how to go trapping. Most
Mhm.
families have a trap line. A lot of families have their fishing business. Like, they go ice fishing all winter and then fishing in the summer. A lot of people go hunting. Like, they live really good up north that way. Like, a lot of people are still connected to the land that way. And fuck, one of the first things you learn in elementary is how to skin a rabbit. Hey, you get kind of traumatized, but then you're like, okay, this is cool. Hey, but you're like, damn. Hey, but up north we didn't have like powwows and the round dances, and there weren't very many people who were still holding sweat lodges and stuff. So, and up north, a lot of people are really connected with the language too. Like, growing up, my mom, she is fluent in like Michif and Cree.
Mm,
My mama spoke Michif, French, Dene, and Cree.
wow.
And a lot of older people up north, like, they have the language piece. And so a lot of like kind of younger people can understand Cree or Michif, but not a lot of us can put the words together and actually have a good conversation. Whereas down south, I'm noticing they're really, really strong with the culture. There's so many people who have like connection to the culture through lodges or the big lodge. There's powwows. I think we're like Saskatchewan is like the capital for fucking round dances and powwows. Everyone's here all the time.
Shoot.
And it's like, man, if we can just put the two together, like up north and down south, we would be golden. Like, we would have everything. When I run for council, hey, just kidding. Hey, that's what I'll say. That'll be my slogan. I'll see what I can do. Hey.
I'll see what I can
Yeah.
do.
But yeah, up north it was just a lot of land-based knowledge. And when I moved down south, I started learning more about, like, who I am and where I come from and, like, the responsibility I have as a Wea, as an Esquel, you know? And I just wish that more well, I hope that more women and children and men start reconnecting and remembering, like, it's okay for you to be proud of who you are, and it's okay to be proud of where you come from
Mm,
and listen to your cookums and mushums if you still have them. Like, you know, my mama and my cookum, they passed away when I was my mama passed away when I was 14, and my cookum passed away when I was 19, I think. And then you really just it's a loss. It's a really big loss. It's something you never really you never stop missing them. So if you have your cookum and a mushum still and they're still here, like, be thankful. Visit with them, listen to them when they talk. They're not talking for nothing. You know, they just want the best for you, and when they say they're praying for you, like, believe them, man. Like, their prayers are what's carrying you through everything. I really believe that the reason I'm alive today is because my cookum and my mama, when they were here, they prayed so hard for us. And I really believe that those prayers is what carried me through domestic violence, getting out, because those, like, intuitive feelings I used to have about not wanting this for myself, I feel like that came from somewhere. You know, like, our intuition is always just trying to keep us safe, keep us alive. And I really believe that it's our cookums and our mushums. They were praying for us. They just want us to be better. Like, we didn't just survive all of that for nothing. You know, like, our people went through so much. We still go through so much. Like, we still have to fight for our rights. We still have to fight for the land, for the water. We're still having to advocate for ourselves and our communities, for our babies. And it feels like a lot sometimes, but we didn't survive for nothing, you know? There's still so much good out there. And I really believe it's because they prayed really hard for us. They prayed for us from, like, 7 generations ago. You know how much love that is? You know how powerful that is? Like, they loved us so much. And here we are, hey. Some of us are still acting up, hey, but it's okay.
but
We're
it's
still
okay.
here, hey.
Did you did you always pray
As a
since you were a
kid,
kid?
kind of. I grew up Catholic, so the way we get told to pray is very, like, specific. You have to say the things, and
Right, right, right.
so I kinda grew up praying that way, but it never really stuck with me. It never really felt right for me. And so, when I really started praying, like, I always believed in a higher power, but I just didn't know what it was.
Right.
And I really started praying again when I was living in domestic violence. Like I said, there'd be times when I would think to myself, like, "There's no way this is it," and then my mama and my cookum weren't alive anymore at that point. But when I was alone, I would talk, and I would just speak from the heart, and I would imagine that I was talking to them. And I would just say, like, "I need help. This isn't what I want. I don't know what to do," and I would just speak from the heart, imagine that my cookum and my mama could hear me. And so after I left, I kinda just kept on doing that. When my cousin brought me my first bundle of sage, she told me, "Just pray." And I was like, "I don't know how." And she's like, "Well, you'll figure it out." Hey. I was like, "Okay." And so that's what I did. I just spoke from the heart. Uh, yeah. That's what I wish everyone knew. It's like, you don't it doesn't have to look a certain way. Like, your ceremony doesn't have to look a certain way, and if you don't have access to a ceremony, just set that intention wherever it is you are. Just speak from the heart, like, Creator's gonna listen. Creator's not gonna be like, "No, you don't have enough tobacco." Hey.
No.
He's gonna listen to you, hey.
His arms crossed,
Yeah,
looking
it's like,
at
"How
you,
dare
foot
you, hey."
tapping.
Yeah. "No, you didn't buy the cloth from the right place." Hey, just kidding.
Yeah. You know, I invite people and I try and make it out to Whitecaps Sweat.
Mhm.
Usually once a month, but it's so open and it's so just like inclusive, you know, they just invite everyone to
Mm.
come and it's it's so nice uh, it's a Linklater Lodge.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that
Yeah,
lodge, yeah.
and he's cool, and he always says, uh, "Just pray to whoever you need to pray to."
Yeah.
And I think about that, and I think about, like that openness and inclusiveness is so rare. You would never go to a church and they'd be like, "Pray to whoever you need to pray to,"
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for
So I
real.
li I really like that. 'Cause, like, even for myself, I never grew up with religion. I never grew up with spirituality. I didn't even know what that was. The
Mhm.
first time I can remember was, like, grade 4, because it was, like, a religion class.
Mhm.
It just, like, wasn't spoken about. So, because I never grew up with it, I never felt connected to it.
Yeah.
And even today, it's, like, something that I feel like I struggle with, and even though I feel like there is a higher power, and I don't know what that is.
Mhm.
But it's hard for me sometimes to pray. It's hard for me to, and that's why I've never done a Sundance.
Mhm.
I've been to one and helped, but, like, to actually dance and to do some other ceremonies, I just don't feel like I'm connected enough. And I
Mm.
don't know if I ever will or ever need. I don't know. It's just like it's been a very slow process,
Mhm.
like a connection with a creator, or, even, like, I've been reading the Bible just to, like, see what Jesus is up to,
Yeah,
you know?
he's our brother, right?
Yeah.
We got told that in lodge before,
Yeah.
but, you know, I hear you, though, I hear what you're saying. You even just being at the Sundance and helping is a big thing.
Mhm.
Um, just being there, even if you only go for a day, even if you're helping with the food or the rocks or the fire, whatever it is, like, that still counts for something because we still need people, like, we need our community, like, don't think that that wasn't noticed,
Mm.
like, I think you've been helping a lot of people in your own way for so long, right? Like, you still have to give yourself that time and that space to connect to, like, it's even just trying to figure out, like, even exploring in the Bible, like, that's not to say that it's not a resource, like, it still has teachings in there.
Right. Yeah.
There's still like, we can learn a lot from everybody else, like, all these different religions, like, there's something in there for everybody.
Mhm.
There is no saying that one is the most right or this one's the best, that's ego.
Right, right,
There's
right.
a reason that we have all of these different belief systems. We're not all the same. We're not supposed to be the same. That's fucking colonial, hey, and it's boring, hey. But like, it's good you're learning, me.
Yeah, even sometimes when I'm praying, because, I always just say thanks for that gratitude, like
Mhm,
like you were talking about. It's like I'm so grateful for so many things. I speak gratitude a lot. But then sometimes I always get these in the back of my head, like, am I praying because I think I'm supposed to be? Or, like, because somebody said I should,
mhm.
you know? Same with, like, meditating too. It's, like, very hard for me to just sit and meditate. And I'm like, am I doing this because other people do this? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like that's the battle I have.
You're battling with your ego, my boy.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
just
for
kidding, but
real.
for real.
No,
Yeah.
one of my favorite books I ever read was Ego is the Enemy. And it's like the ego is so annoying for one, but it's, like, complicated too because it's so specific to each person. There's,
Mhm,
like, the ego that, like, makes you freeze, like, it makes you not try anything because you're scared to look dumb.
mhm,
And then there's the ego that, like, you have to try everything Like this, and then every ego isn't good or bad. It's just like, can you get in touch with yours and how it works so that it isn't controlling you, right? And
Mhm.
and it's just like, but like my self awareness sucks. So I need to be around people who are like, "Oh, this is what you're doing. You need to freaking chill out."
That's
Because of
funny.
like for myself to look at myself, it's hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Is it?
No, you're right. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Oh no,
That's so true though, like and everybody has ego, like, everyone has their
definitely.
own fucking issues with it. But imagine if we never like, imagine if you didn't follow that voice that told you to start with boxing,
Hmm.
or open up your own business, or start getting sober. Like, imagine if you didn't listen to that voice. We wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Mm.
You know, you wouldn't have made all the connections that you made. You wouldn't be uplifting your people. Like, look at all these different brands that are here. You're bringing people together,
Yeah.
and that's because you got out of your own way, and you decided not to listen to that voice in your head that might have told you, like, "That's a dumb idea. Don't do that." Or, "Who's gonna
Hmm.
come to you? Who's gonna support you?" Like, you didn't listen to all those voices. So you do have awareness. Hey, just trying to help you out here, like,
Hmm.
you do have your guides, your creator, like, whatever belief system you might have, like, you are listening to it because you're building something good here. And a lot of people, they never will. They won't try because they're too afraid. Like, they have an idea, but they're too afraid to run with it because they're getting in their own way. They that voice in their head from childhood is telling them, like, "You're not good enough." And we all just need to stop listening to that voice because it doesn't do anybody a disservice for you to have a gift and not do anything with it. Even if you think it's silly. Like, if I listened to everybody who told me, like, writing is stupid, what are you gonna do with your English degree? Like, I wouldn't have wrote that book,
Right.
you know? Like, I wouldn't have started talking about the things that I went through. I never would have got sober. There's so many things that we stop ourselves from doing just because we're afraid, but, like, if you don't do it, who's going to? You know? Creator is gonna keep trying to nudge you in the right direction, but eventually it'll be like, "Well, fine, hey, sit there." But yeah, I really am proud of you for what you're doing here, like, this is freaking cool.
Yeah. Even like when you talk about like sobriety, because like for me, it's like it's not something that I think about. You know, like
Mhm,
it's not something that, but it's like also not something that like I've gone like years without drinking,
mhm,
and then I'll just have a drink, or like sometimes I'll have a drink and then I'll have a drink like once a month, or like it's just like, but then that too, I think like, am I trying to be sober because I should be?
mhm.
But then I think the other way too. I'm like, well, why did I just drink? Why did I have one beer? Just to like prove something to myself? Like,
Mhm,
it's like also this thing that's like so strange to me because, yeah, it's just like another battle. But it's like not, it's not like a thing that I like need to drink, or I need to not drink.
mhm.
It's just like I feel like a non-factor.
You're one of the lucky ones. Hey.
Yeah, well, honestly, like I've had I've had a handful of people who have been sober for, 5 years, 10 years, 15
Mhm.
years, and it's so interesting hearing them
Yeah.
because they're all so different. There's like one person who's still counting every day, you
Mhm.
know, but has been sober for so long,
Yeah.
but still just needs to count.
Mhm.
And then there's another person who I didn't even know they were sober or didn't drink till like 2 years out because he just doesn't talk about it.
Mhm.
He goes to the bar, he just doesn't drink. He goes to places. And then there's other people who can't date somebody who drinks. They can't even be in a relationship because
Mhm.
that'll be too much, you know?
Yeah.
And there's just like all these different levels, and it really made me see that,
Yeah.
that side of it.
Yeah. For real, everybody is so different. And for me, like sometimes I'll hear people say, I don't even count my days because I'm just gonna set myself up to fail.
Mm.
And when I hear things like that, it's kind of like, well, shouldn't you be counting though? Like just so you can be proud. It's okay to be proud of yourself because sometimes by having that mentality, you're just gonna wait till the next drink. It's like you're already kind of setting yourself up to to jump off the fucking wagon, you know?
Right.
But everyone is so different in their sobriety. And I think whatever works for you, as long as it's keeping you healthy, keeping you safe, and keeping you alive, like just do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's okay if people are proud or they count the days or they don't count the days. Like
Right.
everyone's different. For me, I don't for me, alcohol and drinking and that life, it's not the first thing on my mind anymore. Like it doesn't occur to me to go out, have a drink, and burn my fucking life down every time something bad happens, you know? Like I don't think that way anymore. But I also know like I can't have one drink because I remember how I was when I was drinking. Like you put a fucking beer in front of me, like I was gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'll see you guys on Sunday. You know, like I'd
Right,
be gone,
right.
I'd disappear. So I know myself enough, like you have to be honest with yourself. Like, can you really what can you tolerate? What can't you tolerate? And why are you trying to lie about it? You know, like that's the conversations I have to have with myself. And so when I was getting sober, I would go a couple months not drink and just do my own thing. And then I'd go out again. And then I'd be like, well, why did I do that? You know, like, was it worth feeling like this the next day? Like, I really had to start thinking honestly that way. And eventually I said, okay, yeah, I'm done being one or the other. I have to just make a choice. And I said, fuck it. And I just stopped drinking.
Mm.
And then I had to fill myself up with more good things and learn more coping mechanisms and do all the shit. Me.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, now it's been almost 6 years and it's doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Mhm.
It feels like it I don't know, time just started working different, I think. Because I look back, I'm like, "Damn, it's been this long already?"
Mhm.
And it's just I just pray that I stay sober and I stay on the road that I'm going because it's working for me, you know? Like, I love my life, but it doesn't mean that life's perfect, and then doesn't mean that it's easy. It just means that when things are falling apart, I have a better way to deal with it now, you know? I don't think anybody sits high enough to judge anybody else, and
Right.
I don't know, we just gotta go easier on ourselves and go easier on our relatives, fuck, we're all just trying the best we can, you know, life's hard enough, fuck, eggs are so expensive now, hey? Shit's hard, hey?
Everything's free if you're brave enough.
Everything's for real, hey? Hypothetically,
Yeah,
hey?
hypothetically.
Hypothetically speaking, hey?
I would never, but
Neither would I, hey? I definitely never stole from Walmart, hey?
that's, I like that. I like that how you say, like, what works, because like, what works for somebody isn't gonna work for everyone,
Mhm,
and it's all dependent on what you can handle, what your capacity is,
mhm,
how long you've been working at it, like, and 2 people have been working at something for 10 years, one person might be so far ahead, right? Just because who knows why, you
yeah,
know? So, even when I whatever, get into situation like, if somebody's mad at me or somebody calls me a name or whatever, I'm, like, pretty easy to forget, like, I don't get worked up very often,
mhm,
but it's just because of what you said, like, everyone's on their own journey, and that person wasn't attacking me, they were just attacking, and I just happened to be the person to get attacked,
yeah,
I just happened to, like, meet them in their journey at that moment, whether it was for a second or for months or for years.
mhm,
I just happen to be the person. It has nothing to do with me.
yeah.
you know? People aren't that special,
Yeah,
you
for real,
know?
hey.
It's like everyone's always like, "Why is this happening to me?"
Yeah.
Like, like, it's just happening,
Mhm.
and you just happen to be there.
Yeah, we were just the one walking by, hey.
Yeah,
Fuck, that's so
yeah,
true, though.
and it really helps me move on. It really helps me forgive. It really helps me, like, not take things personally.
Mhm. I actually needed to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're done,
Yep.
hey. Just kidding.
That's, $20 for that
20
one.
bucks, see? Oh, shit. That is so true, though, like, that just kind of another lesson, like, sometimes we meet people just because maybe they had something to learn from us, maybe even if a situation didn't work out the way you wanted it to, the way you thought it needed to, maybe they just needed to learn. Maybe we had something that they needed to hear, needed to see, so
Mhm,
that they could do something different. And even if we got hurt in that outcome, like, Creator doesn't bring us to things that He knows that if we are not gonna be able to handle it, we wouldn't be there. I really believe that we're shown things or put in these situations sometimes so we can learn the lesson and get it over and get it done with, like, but we do have to be able to trust that process, and when someone comes to your door or comes into your life and is trying to show you a different way, trying to give you help, take the help,
mhm,
because I learned that Creator is gonna send you messages. You're going to be put in situations that feel familiar until you see the pattern in it and can learn from it, and don't let people treat you a certain way anymore. Don't repeat the pattern. And for me, it really was about healing that intergenerational trauma piece, because I have a daughter now. I'm a mom now. And I want her to grow up seeing what a strong woman looks like and that it's okay to be strong. It's okay to have a voice. It's okay to talk. It's okay to do things differently and not give a shit what people say, because I'm not going to be here forever. And you're a dad too. Like, I bet you can relate to that, to having kids and having those worries about what the world's gonna look like because we're not gonna be here forever. And so with that, like, I want her to know that it's okay to be different, it's okay to be yourself, be proud of who you are, be proud of where you come from, and hopefully hopefully our kids learn, they listen, and when we're not here someday, they'll know that even if hard things are happening to them, they're gonna be okay, and they're
mm,
gonna get through it. There's so many things that my girl teaches me, like, a lot of it is patience too and love, like, she teaches me, like, I wasn't hard to love as a kid. 'Cause she's so easy to love, like, our kids are just freaking amazing, and they deserve so much goodness, and, if there are people on that journey as parents or new parents or they already have children of their own and they're older, like, go easy on yourself. Like, you're alive for the first time too, you know? They're here for the first time. You're both just trying to figure life out together, so go easy on yourself. And if you blew up on your kids today and you're feeling guilty about it, just apologize to them. Our kids love us so much. Just try again, try do better the next time. Our kids need to hear us say sorry. Like, I never heard sorry growing up for a lot of the things that I went through. And sometimes we're never going to hear it. But if we have a home fire, we have a family, we get to choose differently. We get to be different for them. And so, like, if my girl wants McDonald's, I'm like, hell yeah, I want McDonald's too. Hey, let's go fucking get some nuggets. Hey. Let's fucking go. Hey. Oh, shit.
What, what's your favorite thing about being a mother?
Seeing my attitude, hey,
Mhm.
in real
There
time.
it is.
Hmm. Yeah. It's like, shit, hey. I want you to be strong, but don't practice it on me. Hey.
That's funny. When you were talking about, talking to yourself in the mirror, Just saying, like you're beautiful, you're strong. I say that to my oldest son,
Mhm.
Royce, is 2.5. When I lay down with him from the bed, that's what I always say to him. You're handsome, you're strong, you're funny. And it's interesting because depending on the day he had, like if or if he didn't want to go to bed or if he's like grouchy,
Mhm.
he'll be like, no. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're handsome. No. And then if he had a good day, like, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And it's so just like interesting. 'Cause I wish I could like just peek into his brain and see if he like even understands what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like really.
Yeah.
Or
That's so
or if he's like when he says no, does he think no in that moment? Or is he just being like a little shit? You
probably
know?
me. Yeah.
And it'd be cool to like know what.
Yeah. That's how my girl is too. Because I try to have those affirmations with her too, and if she's in a mood, she'll be like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." I'm like, "Yes, you are. Hey."
How old?
She's 4.
Or
Yeah,
yeah.
she's so sassy, man, like but sometimes this one day I was talking to her, and I was like she's like, "Mom, let's sing a song." And I'm like, "My girl, I really don't wanna sing a song right now." She's like, "Come on, mom." I'm like, "My girl, I don't feel like talking." She's like, "Well, you're talking right now, aren't you?" I was like, "Fuck." Okay. You got me. So I was like, "Shit, well, let's sing then."
That's good.
But yeah, she's, really good at telling me how she feels,
Good.
and I wasn't able to do that as a kid, so to see her be like, "Mom, the way you said that hurt my feelings," or, "Mom, this happened today and it made me feel upset," or, "This made me mad," like, I'm like, "Damn, she feels safe to talk about it," you know? So, it makes me feel like I'm doing something right, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But even something as simple as that, like, that's breaking an intergenerational trauma. Like, even you giving affirmations to your son, like, how many how many little boys needed to hear that as a kid, you know? Like, imagine if our boys were able to be raised with that much love and care right off the bat. We would be
Mhm.
so much better. But it gives me hope that it is gonna change
Yeah.
because you're doing it with your son, and he's gonna grow up and remember that love. And if he decides to have a family someday, he's gonna pour that love into his sons, into his kids. And then that's how we start breaking those cycles.
Mhm.
Sometimes I think we don't understand what it means to do that because we keep hearing speakers and all these different places say, you need to break the cycle. But we don't really know what breaking the cycle looks like, right? We think it has to be a certain thing, it has to be really complicated, but it really doesn't have to be. It's how we show up in our homes, how we talk to ourselves in the mirror, how we talk to our kids, because we're gonna be our kids' inner voice. Like, I didn't have confidence and self-esteem growing up, like, I was really angry as a kid. So, when things would happen to me, I would think, "Well, I deserve that," like, "I don't know anything anyway." And so, when that was reflected in the relationships I had, it kind of aligned with what I already believed, and it wasn't until I took a step back, escaped, and started healing that I realized, I didn't deserve all of that. And, I am worthy of good things. And now it's at a point where if someone tells me something negative or tries to say something to me that's hurtful or harmful, it doesn't stick to me because I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like, that's
Right.
not I don't think that. Like, if someone tries to say, "Well, what you're doing is really stupid," and it's like, "Well, I'm sorry you think that, but no, it's not." Like but I had to build that. It's like a muscle. Like your self-esteem and that confidence and that self-love, it really is like a muscle that you have to build. And if we're starting it in our homes and we're teaching our kids like right off the bat that they're so amazing and they're worthy and they're loved, when they go out into the world when they're older and someone tries to say, "Well, no, you're not," they're gonna be like, fuck yeah, I am." They're gonna have that love right there,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be so much better. And so, yeah, breaking those cycles, it doesn't have to look a big certain way. You just have to try to do better every day at home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even just seeing you try to do better. I think lots of times it's like you when something hard happens, a lot of people just like hide or they like cower
Mhm.
or they it's like our natural instinct to like mitigate everything else so you can handle this thing.
Mhm.
But it's like if you can just get good at handling it and still doing all the things you're doing, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like if something like let's say you get you a breakup, you don't have to stop going to the gym,
Mhm.
take time off work, do all this other stuff. It's like you don't have to hide
Yeah.
to deal with this thing. you know, just get a little bit better at handling hard things
Mhm.
so that that can be like your legacy. That's
Yeah.
what you pass down is like let's teach our kids how to because like life isn't easy.
Mhm.
So it's just like s- show them, like just build your capacity,
Mhm.
work on yourself.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, and like your 100% isn't always. Sometimes your 100% is 60%.
Yeah, for sure.
You're just like worn down that day,
Mhm.
but just like do it anyways. Not
Yeah.
gonna be pretty. That's fine.
Mhm.
You know, like that. Like the difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is like hiding. You're isolating from the world.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel good. Solitude is like you're taking time for yourself and you're recharging.
Mm.
It feels good after.
Yeah.
Don't isolate. Don't hide, especially if you're a leader.
Mhm.
Like a parent, probably number one, but like any kind of leader, you know? If you're
Yeah.
leading, if people are looking at you, you don't want to pass down hiding.
Mhm. That's so true. Man, please.
And parenting is hard,
Fuck, I
Because
know.
like I just like even like I'm so happy for you that you've created a place for your daughter to come and speak openly and feel safe.
Mhm.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
All I want is like your kids are gonna talk to somebody. They're gonna get advice from somebody. They're gonna get
Mhm.
direction from somebody,
Yeah.
and you want it to be you,
Yeah.
right? Like, well, I do anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, so I want this to be a safe place. I want you to be able to come and be like, "Hey, dad, I got hammered last night for the first time,"
Mhm.
and not like hide that from me,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna be like, "Hmm, what,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm be like, like, how did that make you feel? Like, what, like, let's talk,
Mhm.
be
Yeah.
open. I'll give you like the pros and cons.
Mhm.
I just want to build kids that can, like, they're just like competent. They can like decipher information.
Mhm.
They can choose. They can be strong, confident.
Yeah. I know.
And I just want to be that safe place.
What I learned about that was, if we want that for our kids when they're older, like, we have to create that space now when they're young.
Right.
So, like, even though your boy, he's 2, it's still good that you're talking to him, like, you're still giving him those affirmations, because even though they're little right now, when they are upset over something, like, say they can't play with whatever toy it is they wanna play with, or they really want something from the store, but they can't have it, like, how we show up for them in those moments is gonna teach them how we're gonna show up for them later and whether or not they can come to us. And that's something I always have to be reminded of because sometimes, like, and there's times in the morning where I just wanna get out the door, go to work. It's just me and my daughter, like, I just there's times when I'm in a rush. I just want her to get in the fucking car, you know? But I can't say, "Get in the fucking car." I have to, like, step back, take a breath, and remember she's experiencing the world for the first time. I'm an adult. I might know what it is we have to do, but all she cares about is if she's got her doll, if she's got her fucking snack, and if she's
Yeah.
where the hell we're going right now. Like, she doesn't care about all my adult stuff,
Right.
and she doesn't have to, like, but I do have to remember, because like, I'm not a perfect parent, and, like, there are times when I'm just, like, flustered and overwhelmed, and I'm just tired, and I just wanna go, but then, yeah, I have to remind myself she's here for the first time too, you know? Like, she's so lucky that she doesn't have to worry about X, Y, and Z because she just gets to be a kid. Like, that's something we weren't always given the privilege of as kids. Sometimes we had to shoulder whatever burdens it was that our parents were carrying because they didn't know not to do or say this in this way. And that's not to shame them, that's just how it was. And so all we can do is the best we can, and sometimes, like you said, our best is 60%, you know? But our babies love us so much, and as long as we're willing to, like, hold space for them when they're having a big feeling and letting them know that it's okay to cry, like, it's okay to be upset, that's how we build that trust with them. Because they know, like, if they make a mess, if they have an accident or something, that mom or dad's not gonna get mad at them. They're gonna come to us and say, "Mom, I made a mess. Mom, I had an accident." And they're gonna know that we're gonna take care of it. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be safe with whatever mess they're coming with, they're gonna know that mom and dad's gonna have it. And then when they get older, that trust will continue. So if they do go out one day when they're teenagers and there's something happening, they'll know from experience all those years that mom or dad is gonna be able to have their back. They're gonna be safe to talk about it because I couldn't talk about stuff I went through as a kid, you know, or as a teenager. But I'm learning now that just because it didn't happen for me doesn't mean it can't happen for her or for any of our kids for that matter. It's just we just have to be intentional about it. We just have to do the best we can every day and listen to those TikToks that tell us about parenting. Hey. Find what works for you and just do it.
Did you listen to that, Gabor Mate?
Yeah,
He's cool.
Uncle Gabor, he
Uncle, big Unc.
Yeah. Yeah, frick, he's freaking cool to listen to. That one book, what's it called? Hold On to Your Kids or something?
Mm,
That one's a really good audiobook to listen to. It's like it kinda just talks about how we need to be our kids. We need to be like what you said, our kids are gonna learn from people and you want it to be from you. That's pretty much what that book is about.
yeah.
Being that safe space for your kids so they don't go out there and learn about all the things from their friends or their peers. Because if they get because you're gonna go through shit, like, as a teenager, like, you're gonna have all of these different things presented to you, right? And sometimes we don't have that guidance, so we just listen and we give into peer pressure because we think it's cool or whatever reason we have, but, like, if we're able to be that safe space for our kids and they trust us, who's to say that they'll go down that road, you know? I don't know, hey, but I don't know. What do I know, hey?
Isn't this way more peaceful without those dogs?
Yeah, hey. Wow, I can think. Think.
Yeah. You handled it really well, though. Holy frick, those are getting loud.
Yeah, I grew up with, like, 10 dogs at any time, so, hey, I just disassociate, hey, just block it out, hey.
That's
Like
I always think about my why I am the person I am, like, and especially since listening to Gabor Mate, like, everything there's, like, that trauma zone, you know? And
Mhm,
then that's, like, kinda who you are unless you can heal it, right?
mhm.
And if you don't heal it, it'll just, like, keep peeking its head out
Yeah.
in those situations. And from, like, I've never been very like, a very emotional person, and I've always been able to just, like, move on quickly.
Mhm.
So just, like, even if I do feel things, it's, like, for, like, 30 seconds,
Yeah.
60 seconds, and then it's gone. And I always, like I've never went to a therapist or anything like that, but I've always thought about it so I could, like, see if they could help me figure myself out. 'Cause it is interesting, like, even when it comes to, like, crying,
Mhm.
like, never
Mm.
never do I even feel like I should be. Do I ever feel like, you know what I should be doing right now?
Yeah.
Crying, you know? It's just, like, never.
Sometimes you gotta fucking cry.
Yeah, and it's funny too, cause my boy too, like, 2.5, and just, like, cries, you
Mhm.
know? And I'm always like, "How come you're crying? What are you crying for? Like, what?" I'm trying to, like, figure out what is making him cry.
Mhm.
'Cause sometimes he's sad. Like, I can see his, like, lip is trembling,
Mommy.
and then sometimes it's just like, I have no idea why you'd be crying.
Mhm.
Like, what are you crying for? Because you can't have a snack?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
is this even real? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on here? And then, like, my wife's just the opposite. She's just like an empath. Like, if you cry, she's crying for
Mhm.
sure. When she
Yeah.
watch like, she's just, like, has so many emotions, and
Mhm.
she feels other people's emotions, and it's just, like, that has been interesting, like, our relationship navigating that,
Yeah.
but it's just, like, I wish I but just, like, goes back to my self-awareness sucks.
Mhm.
I was like, "I am the way I am."
Hey. First of all, hey, just kidding. I got told one time by an elder, and he said that our men need to start feeling their emotions because our men are not rocks.
Mm,
They were never made to not feel, not release emotion in a good way. They were never supposed to stop being that part of themselves, you know? Like we're all human. Like we all have emotions. We all have feelings. And the beautiful thing about our kids, like our babies, like they were never told to stop. They were never told to shut off yet. Because we got conditioned really young to not to cry, not to
mm,
think, not to feel. I'll give you something to fucking cry about, you know? Like that's what we got
yeah,
told growing up. And our kids, like, they don't have that yet, and I pray they don't have to have that, but, like, they just get to be human fully because they don't have that awareness yet to be able to say, "Well, this is what's upsetting me." They just cry. That's how they survive, right? And so that's such a beautiful thing if you think about it, like, they've got so much freedom. They get to be themselves, like, if they're happy, you're gonna see it. If they're sad, you're gonna see it. If they're mad, that you're gonna hear it, like, that's a pretty amazing thing if you think about it, because they haven't learned that's too much. They still get to just be exactly who they are. And if we do it right as parents, like they'll never lose that. Like it might seem strange for us to try to hold space for big emotions because as kids, we weren't allowed to have a big feeling. We got told like, no, you're doing too much right now. Like go sit in your room, like get out of here. But our kids, like if they've got a boo boo, or if they can't have their snack, or if you turn off Miss Rachel too soon, like they get to feel upset about it, you know? Like
so funny.
it's like, yeah, you're mad, and I'd be fucking mad too, hey. But that's such a gift still.
Mhm,
And even if we don't understand always like why exactly they're upset, but if we keep telling them it's okay, they're gonna trust us.
yeah,
They might not know it. I don't know if they'll ever really understand because thankfully they don't have to grow up the way we did, but they're gonna be a lot better for it if we just hold space for them and let them be who they are. Because they won't have to deal with all the shit that we did. That's the goal
that's
anyway.
the goal. That's such, like, a interesting thought, like, I've never thought of that before. That's like, yeah. That's just like who they are coming out
Mhm.
right now until we shape them, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No
Like,
pressure.
no
Hey.
I know.
Fuck, hey.
And then it's like now though, because like now what I'm thinking is like this kid's like 24, and if he cries because he can't have a snack.
I mean, okay, okay, hey.
But it's like because there's that like it's like so it's like where do you draw the line at, like me as a father raising my two sons to be like competent in this world, where do you draw that line of like, you know what, like things are going to be harder
Mhm.
than not being able to watch Miss Rachel,
Yeah.
so we can't just fall apart
Mhm.
always. And then for myself, like I do feel like I have like a big capacity to handle things,
Yeah.
like handle a lot, like I can just like carry things,
Mhm.
and I'm for some reason I'm fine,
Yeah.
like, and like finer than most people.
Mhm.
And sometimes I feel like maybe that is a gift that like I can help a lot of people and not get like anxiety, get depressed, get overwhelmed,
Yeah.
get tired.
Mhm.
And then it's like, so like, yeah, I guess where that line is, where it's like, how do I make strong, competent boys in our society?
Mhm.
It's like whether we like how our society is or not, it is how it is.
Yeah.
And I have to build them to perform well in the society we have,
Mhm.
not in the society I want for them
Yeah.
or wish it was for them,
Yeah.
you know? So then it's like, where do you,
I know. I hear what you're saying. Um, for me, because like my girl's dad, like we're not together. We're trying to raise our daughter together. And he has similar like questions for that. And what I'm learning, kind of what I'm seeing is we don't get to say how the world is or how society is or how other people treat each other because there's going to be like you're going to experience setbacks. You're going to have hard days. But if my daughter knows that if she has a hard day, she can come home and she's allowed to feel her feelings or talk to me about it.
right,
She can get all of those feelings out safely, and then she can go back out there and do the things she needs to do. If we want our kids to be strong and capable and independent, they need to see us doing those things. They need to see how we're handling conflict. They need to see how we talk to other people, how we treat each other, how we show up for our work or our responsibilities. That's what they'll see. And then they'll also see us getting upset or feeling our feelings, but doing it in a healthy way. Because there's times like this one time it was funny. I do yoga. I was doing yoga one day and I was carrying a lot. I had a lot of things I was like trying to work through, but I couldn't really do it anymore to talk about it. So was doing some yoga and my girl was home. And usually I do yoga when she's sleeping or something, but that day I was like just on the floor doing my thing. And then I was in child's pose and I was just sitting there and then all of a sudden I felt feelings, hey. And then they came out and then I suddenly just cried. I was crying, like fucking just big snot bubbles crying, hey. And my girl was like, "Mom, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing, I'm okay." And she's like, "But you're crying." And I'm like, "I know, my girl, I'm crying." She's like, "Is it because you're doing yoga, huh?" I was like, "No, but it's helping me." So now every time I whip out the yoga mat, she's like, "Mom, are you gonna cry again?" But I'm like I tried to tell her after that, like, when we feel upset, it's okay to cry. And sometimes doing yoga or dancing or whatever it is that helps us. It's a good thing. So I try to show her that if I am feeling emotional about something, I tell her it's okay to feel that feeling. and it's not your job to fix it. I tell her that too. I said, if mom is sad or if mom is mad, it's not your fault and it's not yours to fix. You don't got to worry about mom. I tell her,
Mhm.
you worry about yourself. You worry about Ember, and mom will take care of Ember. Mommy's feelings aren't Ember's feelings, and that's okay. Like, I try to explain stuff like that to her. And I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Fuck, I'm figuring it out, me. But, like, my idea,
10 years from now, you're gonna be like, "Oops."
oops, fuck,
What
that didn't work, just kidding. But, like, yeah, my idea is if we let our kids be themselves and feel their feelings and show them how to deal with things properly and model the behaviors we want, maybe they won't be maybe they'll maybe they won't turn out like we did. Maybe they won't struggle the way we did. Maybe they'll be able to have capacity for bigger feelings easier, you
Mm,
know? Maybe they won't turn to drugs or alcohol if they're when they're 16, 17, and just out there doing their thing. Maybe they'll make better choices. Like, I don't know. Also, but you have like your gym, your boxing. That's a really good way to show your sons how to get out their anger healthily, their
mm,
sadness healthily. Like, move your body in a good way. Like, that'll be such a good tool for them to have. So, and the fact that you're worried about how you're parenting, it shows you're a good dad. You're a good parent for just even thinking that, because sometimes our parents didn't even worry about shit like that. They just said, "Go, hey,
be
you don't
back
like
when
it?"
it gets dark.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think we have to be easier on ourselves, especially as parents. It's not easy. And we're like, I read this thing once that said we're the first generation of parents who are trying to do it differently. And so that's fucking hard in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do I know? Hey.
No, that's good. We're an hour and 40
Oh my
minutes.
god. Huh, fuck,
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
crazy.
Yeah, you're, very easy to talk to. That's good. I can tell all, like, the work you've done. You're not the same person I knew. Like, the Kaylee I knew when we were drinking, you were very, like, closed off. You were very, like, defensive. You were always, like, watching out,
Hmm,
like, and just, like, you were always in, like, attack mode and
mhm.
defense mode,
Yeah,
Never want anyone to get too close,
yeah.
you know? Even though we saw each other often, I would always think, like, "I can't say the wrong thing around here. She's gonna freaking" you know?
Yeah.
And now, like, talking to you, like, you're so happy. You're so, like, I feel like you just, like, love like, there's so much love coming from you, you know? And I could tell you just, like, trust yourself, and it's, like, it's really cool to see.
Mhm.
So good job.
Hey,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
I appreciate that, though.
Mhm,
Thank you. It's weird to hear stuff like that, but it's nice. That's another thing you gotta work through, right? Like, accepting compliments.
mhm,
Sometimes I think it's good to hear stuff like that, though, because it acknowledges the work you put in. And yeah, I always used to be in attack mode, man. Like, I was so hurt,
mhm.
didn't wanna be hurt again. And then creator was like, "Well, hey, fucking hold on, hey. You're gonna learn, hey." And I just realized, like, all those walls that I was putting up was just keeping connection up. And after I went through what I went through with my ex-husband there, like, I didn't wanna be like him, and I didn't wanna go through that again. And so I realized, like, I have to get better. I have to do better. Like, I just want different, and there are times when I still get hurt, like, I I love really hard. and I I just want other people to feel loved too. So sometimes it does get me hurt, but I'm learning now that like creator doesn't take things away without a plan in place to put it back. And so I trust that plan more than my own. So if things fall apart for me somewhere in some aspect of my life, I just say, okay, it's okay. I don't know what's coming next, but I trust that it's going to be good. And I just keep showing up in the places I feel called to show up because we can have whatever idea we want for our lives, but creator is ultimately the fucking driver, you know? I'm just here for the ride. And yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy we finally did this.
Mhm. Me too. Yeah,
Uh,
you're awesome.
Thanks. You are too. I'm really proud of you though, for real. Like this was so cool. Look at us. See.
Are you still writing? Are you writing more? Do you have more
Yeah.
coming out?
Yep. This isn't the only one. Like this was just the beginning. I've been writing ever since this one came out. It came out January like 3rd, I think, 2025. It's been out for a year. I started writing again and I am putting something else together because this isn't the only part of my story. Like I'm not done yet. You don't fuck with a writer, hey. We have shit to say, hey. But yeah, like I do have some poems here. Would I be able to share one before we're
Of
done?
course.
Okay, let's see. Um, Writing really helps me. It gives me my voice back. So if people are like feeling like they can't talk to anybody, they should definitely let themselves be creative. And it's okay to suck at something at first because you're not going to be professional right off the bat. And it's okay if it doesn't make sense to anybody else. And it's okay if you don't know what you're doing. Like, fuck, do it. Like, you don't have that idea in your head for nothing, you know? I really think that's how creator works sometimes. But I'm going to read this one. It's called Wakodowin. And Wakodowin means kinship, like our relationship building. And I wrote it when I was in New Zealand. I actually got to go to New Zealand when I was in the mental health and wellness program at SIIT, and, there was a lot going on in the world, and there still is a lot going on in the world, but Wakodowin, it kinda tells us to be good relatives, you know, like, be mindful of how you speak to people, watch how you show up, like, take care of each other, and, so that's what this poem's about. It's called Wakodowin. All my relations extends to everyone, not just the kin you see. It extends over oceans and valleys, over centuries, families, some vastly different from you and me, yet still the same, not as different as they might seem. Many native to their lands, many struck down from paler hands, attempted to be eradicated and assimilated. They get off on us fighting amongst ourselves, reveling, delighting when we aren't uniting, because if we fight amongst ourselves, we don't see that they're the reason we've been dying, and the languages are disappearing. All my relations has the power to heal generations. If only we'd realize we have the power to reunite and cause an uprising. They wouldn't be able to withstand the winds we'd bring. The four directions would dance and the land would have our backs. That disconnect is an illusion. The ancestors, they never left, and this is only the beginning. They haven't seen nothing yet. Until then, all my relations, hold tight and be brave. Don't let that dissonance get in the way. Don't let the noise of colonization distract you or make you feel like you're less than because you are everything. You will always be everything to me, all my relations. Me.
That's awesome. That's very nice.
Thank you.
That's very nice. Just so many thoughts. There's Ray the nihilist.
Yeah, fuck love Ray.
He was talking about not being raised, with his culture.
Mhm,
And then he said like when people judge him for it,
mhm.
and then he says like, like I didn't choose that. You think I wanted that? You think I wanted not to know my culture?
Mhm.
And then that made me think about, like, my life, you
Mhm.
know? It's like and that's what that just made me think of.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's nice.
Thank you. Except me.
Yeah,
This was good though. I'm really happy we did this.
yeah. Me too. I think I asked you long ago. You remember?
Yeah, you did.
Before I even started it,
Yeah.
like, 'cause I ran into you at Saskatoon Inn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But that was when I just had it like, it was just like an idea in my head,
Mhm.
and then I was like and I asked you long ago, like, "What would we talk about?" I'm just trying to figure this out.
Mm. Yeah.
But I'm glad you're here.
Me
I'm
too.
glad to chat with you. You're awesome. I really like how your mind works.
Thanks.
We should do this again sometime.
Hell yeah. That'd be good.
Mhm.
I know. I don't think I was in it happened when it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, it always does.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. It was a really good talk. I just hope that whoever hears it in a good way and they take whatever resonates and they leave what doesn't.
Mhm.
You're doing a good thing here. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.